Welcome to the Artist Loft, the talk show for all artists. Join us each show as we spotlight a variety of different creatives, hosted by the Florida Arts Network, with Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.
And we're back.
We're back, whether you want us or not. Here we are.
Wow. Okay. No, of course they want us. If they didn't want us, they wouldn't tune in and watch, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. That's how I get to sleep at night, you know. But thanks for joining us again on another edition of the Artist Loft, which is an arm of Florida Arts Network. Yeah, we are always looking for sponsors. We're looking for advertisers. We use this show to kind of get the word out about some of what we do, and part of what we do is we promote the arts. So that's why we have a lot of different types of artists on our show. But what we want to do through FAN is we want to bring the arts to kids. A lot of schools, and I've mentioned this before. I talk about it ad nauseum. A lot of these kids, when the schools start cutting their budgets, one of the first things to go is the arts. And so you've got a lot of really talented, creative kids out there that don't have that creative outlet. And so we want to help those kids out. Kids that might be really talented with an instrument, and maybe they can't afford a better instrument, and we want to be able to help them with that. Or kids really talented in acting that could have certain opportunities, but sometimes these things cost money. We want to be able to help them with that as well. So these are the kinds of things that we want to do with the kids. And so we like to have a lot of different guests on, and they talk about their experiences, some of the things that, some of the issues that they've had. Even us, we've had our share of issues, getting good at what we do, and it's never easy, but. I know, me personally, I've had lots of help. So, and that's what we want to do. We want to provide that help.
So if you have a small business, for as little as $75, you can get your name added onto our show. And you can contact us at our website, floridaartsnetwork.org, for details.
There you go.
There it is.
And so, without any further ado, we have a wonderful guest, Alex Moreno. Yes, Spanish last name, British accent. It's like I have a tough time with that one still. As long as I've known him, I still have a tough time with it. So Alex, thanks for being on the show.
Hola, buenas tardes, mis amigos. Yo soy de Inglaterra, mi papi es cubano, so it's a long story, but I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need to.
So sorry. Buenas tardes, mis amigos. I'm glad to be back. Mi papi es cubano, mi mami es de inglés. So yo soy de Inglaterra, just to get that out the way.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, how in the world did that happen?
It's a weird story.
Yeah. Well, it's like my parents. My dad was from Cuba, my mom from San Salvador, and it's like. What? Those two cultures mixing? It's just it's crazy, right? So you've got Fidel Castro and MS-13. It's like
I'm not going there.
All right. So Alex, you do a lot of work with flow, a different flow from the flow that we've had here. Although the two flows know each other.
Yes, Kimberly and I are
yes.
good friends.
They flow together.
Yeah, they flow.
Yes.
Flow together.
I'm actually not sure what her flow stands for. Ours is Future Leaders of the World.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's Future Leaders Opening Worlds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
similar.
Yeah.
And
I see a
presume we
lawsuit
have
coming in here.
Similar missions because we're both working with adolescents.
Mm-hmm.
We're both trying to use the vehicle of the arts to help educate our adolescents.
Yeah.
So that's good that we're both. in
Yeah,
the same-
and she likes working with a lot of foreign filmmakers. She's got the Flow Film Festival is going to be coming up really soon.
I know.
Beginning of March.
She wrote me into being one of the judges. So I know all about it.
I know, and I felt so bad. She asked me to help with that. And I was like, I can't. I'm so busy. It's just, and because if I can't give 100%, you know, I'm not gonna do that to somebody. You know, somebody asked me for help, and it's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, no, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, I can't.
So how many future leaders do you work with?
So it's a 2-year project and counting. Self-funded by myself for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Why? Well, you got a product to show people what you can do, so it was worth doing it in that way. And as you know, we had a premiere last April.
Mm-hmm.
At that premiere, we met a lovely lady, Miss Rodriguez, who introduced me to some other people. And just 3 days ago, we signed a contract. We have a 2-year grant. So
Nice.
Super exciting.
Nice.
We're doing 3 projects. So to explain the project is we take a group of students, typically an after-school program, could be during school time, but typically after school. And let's say there's 15 kids in a group. We teach a health curriculum for about 6 to 8 weeks, covering kind of like the sensitive health topics that many teachers don't want to teach.
Yeah.
So human trafficking, STIs, HIV, issues such as that. Then after the health curriculum, we charge each student to write a kind of slice of life story based on one of the subject matters. So maybe they have a story about kids going to get tested for HIV, or someone being diagnosed with syphilis, or someone being recruited for human trafficking, whatever the story is. I then team them up with a script writer who mentors them into writing the actual script. We give them limitations because of production viability.
Mm-hmm.
No submarine chasers. So they write out these stories, 6 to 8 page minimum. As far as character count, it needs to be low because, again, production viability.
Mm-hmm.
We have a separate youth advisory board made up of their peers that review the scripts, and they score them, and they're pretty low scores to start with until we get through development. Then we develop the scripts. Eventually, the highest rated script gets shot into a film, and that will be shot in English and Spanish because we're working in Miami-Dade right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to other areas, which we can talk about, that'll be different languages. Now, we've got, let's say Frank gets his script chosen. We've got 14 other pissed off students that are like, what? My script didn't get picked up. So we offer a pathway to production, employment opportunity. All the other 14 students come on board with our crew. They get involved in pre-production meetings. They then are assigned a position on set. So maybe today, Richard, you're going to work hair and makeup. Tomorrow, you're going to work cameras. And the third day, you're going to be the gaffer. And everybody switches around. So they get a very good opportunity about what the careers are on a set. Then, again, those 14 students are charged with making a documentary film on this whole journey of their group from beginning to end. So they get their very first job. We pay them to do the documentary. And then some of the students who maybe really want to go a little further, they then join our education advisory board, who then put lesson guides together based on Frank's script in English and Spanish. So once the package is completed, an educator can go to our website, download the film, Rumors in English, Rumores en Español. It's about STIs. The teacher shows the film, 5 or 6 minutes long. All that film does is capture the student attention, and then the teacher comes in with our lesson guides and teaches the actual subject matter. So we have 4 subject matters so far, and we're slated because our funding is from SAMHSA, which is a federal agency. It stands for Substance Abuse Mental Health Service Administration. So SAMHSA's charging us for the 3 film projects on suicide prevention, and substance abuse. So there's some great topics to work with in these next 3 projects.
Yeah,
I'm
boy.
so sorry. Someone really wants to get a hold of me.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and it's crazy, but I mean, I can relate to all of that. All of that. The substance abuse, been there, done that.
And the students act on screen too?
So the actual project is more about developing the content so that we end up with a kick-ass film. Now, we offer things for the students, so if they have an inclination to act, they have an opportunity to audition. We've only had some success that way because most of our student writers are not actors. Maybe as extras, that's easier. But as far as actors, we want great actors in front of the camera. So they have a chance to audition. It's actually how I met Richard. He auditioned for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Through one of the actors that was in his shows, he was looking for somebody, and so one of the actors on there connected the two of us. It was hysterical, and now I haven't heard from that actor in a while, but
She's moving on to other stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
It's a shame.
the opportunities are always there, centered around flow. We get to know these kids really well, so I've often just had an informal chat about money management, how to budget, why compound interest is your best friend. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
these things pop up on set and stuff, and we have conversations.
yeah.
so.
And so let me ask you, what do you the reactions from some of these kids the first time that they're on a set?
Oh, they're goo goo gaga, eyes bugged open. They don't know what they're doing here. You know, even just seeing a script develop for the first time, they have an idea, and then they're working typically with a screenwriter.
Yeah.
You know, hash out the idea. Then they're on a Zoom call, say, and the student, that's called the student, Christine, is with Alex, the writer, and when they see their words coming up in final draft, and then we're explaining what a slug line is and why it's set that way, they get a lot out of it. They learn along the way, even when they're not learning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, they do, and being exposed to that is eye-opening because 99% of people that go to watch a movie have no idea what's involved in the pre-production. I've talked to people that think that a film is shot in order.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I get that a lot, and I'm like, no, it's based on location.
Yeah, well,
You
that's
know?
the best way to learn. Why the students are learning. They'll learn
Oh,
it right on set.
absolutely.
Exactly. And then even classes such as, we really dive deep. So for instance, when we talk about subtext, it's a hard concept for any writer to grasp.
Yeah.
You need years of experience, but we use song lyrics. You know, listen to any song. Most of the time they're telling a story through subtext.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we do a lot of analyzing of songs. Probably our favorite is Little Red Corvette, Prince. That is subtext all over, and it's so sexy.
Yeah.
But it's all
Yeah.
written in subtext.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they get a good kick out of analyzing stuff that maybe they hadn't thought about doing.
Yeah, and you never know with some of these kids, this light bulb may go on and say, wow, hey, this is the career path that I want to take.
So if I may, in Flow, I've hired my first employee. Her name's Tiffany Ortiz. Tiffany was one of our very first student writers.
Very
She
cool.
had a very
Good.
good script that's kind of sitting in the pool that could be shot in the near future. She came for an audition. She didn't get the role of the same film that we were talking about, but she stayed in touch. She just wanted to be in touch with us. And then last year, when we started having a chat, I was letting her know that there's a possibility of funding. She was like, oh, let me know. I'd love to be involved. So, yeah, she's got a job
That's-
out of it.
Fantastic.
That really is. I can't wait till
great.
Fan can start hiring some people. You know.
And as you know, one of your students ended up doing a promo video for me. That was the first time on camera for her. She got paid.
Yeah.
So she was super excited with that. So yeah, we're always trying to give these young people opportunities. A lot of our work that we do currently is with kids who have been arrested. So either at the detention center in Miami-Dade or a diversion program.
Yeah.
So we've just had a site visit at the TGK boot camp where we're going through the process of getting approved to work in there. And I foresee that being my next flow group.
Yeah. And in fact, we were talking about that with Kimberly
Yes.
on our last episode.
It was Kimberly who got us in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I know she is so excited about it. I am too. It's like, because, see, my heart's with the youth. It really is. My heart's with the youth. And the juvenile detention center, some of these kids, they get caught in the system really early.
Yes.
And
The stupid crimes. When
Yeah.
they tell me what they got arrested for, I'm like, really?
yeah, it's crazy because they have no guidance. They get out. They're kind of on their own. They hang out at the basketball courts. A lot of times they're not playing basketball, and you know that no good is going to come from that.
Yeah, they only do what they know what to do.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
only do what they know how to do. So
Yeah.
they're back in again.
Because people tend to go to the familiar.
Yeah, and
right?
it's a pity that amazing programs like Midnight Basketball are being defunded.
Yeah.
That was an amazing program. Research showed on how that was so positive for kids who were involved in there. Even kids going or just watch it and not play. They were
Yeah.
off the streets or engaging in a sporting activity. And
Yeah.
that was funded through government and the police force, and most of them are being abolished.
Yeah, because sports, I mean, that gives, like team sports, it's so great for kids. It really is. Not the stuff, that they're doing at home now, game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with gaming, right? But, I mean, they overdo it. They don't know how to interact with people. When I was growing up, you get a bunch of kids together. Hey, how about a game of stickball? Remember that?
Yeah.
And you yell out car. Yeah. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part is that you've got that same concept going on with dating and meeting other people, and the hookup culture is prevalent because they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to court. They don't know how to go dating. They just know about getting together.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I remember when I have 3 kids. I have twin boys and a girl, and my daughter and I used to go on daddy-daughter dates when she was growing up, and it was like, see these things, put them away. And that's how I've seen entire families.
Yeah.
Sitting around a table,
Talking to
everybody on their phone, sometimes
They're
texting each other. It's like, what
So sad.
in the world is
But I
going
relate.
on?
The only time I got to talk to my daughter is teaching her to drive, phone in the console. It's talking
Oh
I
no!
think maybe we need to take a quick break,
Yes, we do. We need to take
and then we'll be back real soon.
Yep.
With Alex and Flo.
Yep.
Ever needed a good read? Maybe a book to keep your mind off things. Frank A. Ruffalo is an internationally known author and accomplished screenwriter. He's written many successful novels with amazing stories. Fiction adventures like The Lady of the Harbor, The Trihedral of Chaos, Gabriel's Chalice, 10048, and many more. For more information, visit www.frankaruffalo.com, or you can find Frank Ruffalo on Amazon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Adrian Ramate, but most of you know me as Esteban Little Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I just wanted to give a shout out to my man Richard Sosa. He is one of the best acting coaches that I've had the pleasure to work with, and he's actually worked with me in my program for many years, and I highly recommend this guy. So if you have an opportunity to work with him, what are you waiting for? Now, get out of my face. Esteban Little Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez. I'm out.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, that was my buddy Adrian.
Zach and Cody.
Yeah. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. It was so nice that he did that for me. But getting back to
announcements to
flow.
come.
The what?
There's some big announcements to come.
Yes. Yeah, there are.
So, I think one of the things about South Florida that we tend to forget is there is a lot of talent down here. It's just having the opportunities. So oddly
Absolutely.
enough, around about Thanksgiving, we were approached by the Peace Corps corporate office, and they have a project with youth in Dubno, Ukraine, that they planned the year before. So they approached us about planning in 2024 to do flow with them in 2025. So we've had 2 meetings since, and we are going to be signing paperwork, contracts, etc. So that's super exciting to set up that project.
And we have a production company.
Yeah, we have a production company in
we have a
Ukraine.
production company that's from Ukraine.
I would need their contact information. We
Yeah.
have to start doing that, is
Yeah.
gathering people around us to, work the project. It
All
won't
right.
be for a year, but we need to start chatting with people.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
That's-
we'll,
Give it to Alex.
yeah, we'll
Awesome.
set something up. We'll set
That'd
up
be
like we'll set up a Zoom meeting and
And then
introduce
we also
everybody.
have
Yeah.
a friend of mine who's in the Canary Islands, the island of Tenerife, who her daughter is in our Flow project. She's one of our youth advisory board members that critique the scripts. So they want to do even more work. So they've set up with me to start writing to educators there to get the interest going. So we'll probably have a think tank in February or March about the Tenerife project.
Yeah.
And then we have a gentleman who's
I
a
have a note on that on my
superintendent
calendar.
of a school district in and around Fresno, but I forgot the name. It's not Fresno, but it's very close to Fresno. Maybe Central County. I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. And then we've had, I have 2 producers who are in Canada in the GTA, and they come down to do work with me here. They're very helpful. Actually, one of the girls has a home here in Boca. And they've said, come on, it's been 2 years now, come up to Canada. So I'm going there in April to set up a flow project in Canada. We'll probably start again in 2025.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very
So
nice.
we are expanding. We're always looking for partners in and around South Florida. I mean, I only mention Miami-Dade because that's where our current funding is.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, here's funding to go work up in, Stewart, Orlando, well, we'll go there.
Yeah.
So right now it's a case of we're looking for the funding as to where we expand to.
And I gotta say, Alex, Frank and I really appreciate the way you support us. We need that. We really do. We need that because we can't do it alone. So when we find partners like you to help us, oh my gosh, it's like a
Very amazing.
yeah, it's like a godsend. It really is. And I'm excited about some of these projects. I know that we're going to be involved. We're going to be working together with them. I have the note already on my calendar for the Tenerife. That one. I can't even remember. And he's not helping me out. He's just sitting there, just letting me struggle.
My mind's going, mile an hour. So the other thing that we are working on, and somebody said to me, why didn't you do that first? And I'm like, yeah, maybe we should have. And that is how we're distributing and marketing the films, i.e. into school districts. Florida has way too many restrictions right now.
Yeah,
So we're
blah,
probably
blah,
going to have
blah.
more luck getting our films into schools that are not in Florida than we will in Florida. So that's going to be an interesting pathway to see.
Yeah.
Because again, our subject matter pushes the envelope. We're not, if I can mention the name, we're not Dharma Studios.
Yeah.
I know he's very well supported. The quality of his films are good, but the subject matters are so cheesy. We can't do cheesy,
Yeah.
geeky films to be shown in a school. The kids will just not relate.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason for that is that there's not enough money allocated to making good quality films for the schools because those films are not generating income.
Yes, yes. That's why we've gone the grant route rather than make a film, sell it to a school district. It's not going to work.
And their
They have
films
no
are
money.
not cheesy.
No,
They
they're
are
not.
great films.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
that's why we've gone the grant route and using a fiscal agent such as Florida Arts Network, big plug. And then we apply for grants, and then some of the funders are a little more lax on, how you get the product done.
Yeah.
Of course, at the very end, they want to see the lesson guides, the films. Our EAB is made up of principals and doctors, so
Yeah.
everything is researched and triple checked before we get into a lesson guide.
Yeah. No, what you're doing is absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
It really is, and it's great that we're partnered because it falls in line with our goals, with working with kids. We want to help them. We want to help them as much as we can in any way that we can.
Yeah. And I think what's happening now is because there's more crossover curriculum, for instance, I go to, let's say, the Department of Juvenile Justice. I don't ask them for funds to do a film. I'm asking them to do funds as a pathway to employment of kids who are being arrested.
Yes.
Now, how do we get to making the career path is utilizing the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we all win. We all get what we want. So that's where we're having to be more creative in. We're not really selling like a film. We're not doing a film
Yeah.
project. It's more an educational project. And
Yeah.
the vehicle is the arts.
Yeah, and since you're going to be doing that, right? If there are kids that, for example, not much of an interest in film per se, but you want to continue working with them, we have artists on board that would be willing to help work with some of these kids.
Visual arts, yeah.
Yeah, visual arts, music. So we have all the stuff that we can kind of help.
Is there a phone number at the bottom of your screen for people to reach out to you? Because I'm actually looking for three musicians, because we always want to go with original songs for our films.
Yeah.
So that's something that, you go, they can contact on the website.
Yep, they can contact us on the website or floridaartsnetwork@gmail.com.
Okay.
That's the other thing that they can do. But yeah, they can contact us. There's a contact us tab on the website, so
Cool.
they can always reach out that way.
Yeah, we do have a little money to pay. I mean, I don't believe in a free lunch, so obviously
Yeah.
if we work with an up-and-coming musician, it's not much money, but you know what? You're getting your song out there, you're getting known, and as you know, we have some very famous people to back us up, so
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, I know it. But that's what it all boils down to, right?
Yep.
All boils down to the Benjamins.
Right. You can also check with Amp Media. The people here from Amp Media, they got contacts with some up-and-coming musicians and
Great.
writers. They can
Yeah.
help you too,
Yeah, and some well-established.
and well-established ones too.
Some very well-established musicians. There's always a way, right? But that way is not always clear.
Yeah.
You kind of have to muddle. You have to kind of muddle your way through sometimes, But just
We got to wrap it up.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Oh, it felt like Carol Burnett.
We're getting the red light?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I can't.
I can't believe it. It
yeah.
went so fast.
It always goes so quickly. It's like we've been doing this show since July of last year, and still, come the end of the show, we're like, wait, what?
I don't have a paper. I wanted to give a plug to our Instagram account, but
Oh, well,
Go ahead. What is it?
Go ahead. What is it?
so
'Cause
it's
this is all-
flow_helpin. So it's FLOW_HELPIN.
Yep. There you go. And there's Leo right there saying, "Yeah,
Yep.
you're the man."
Yeah, one of our earlier flow actors. Who's
Yeah.
here.
Didn't
did
you
an
give
okay
him
job.
his start?
He did an okay job. Basketball Diaries, I think it was.
Yeah.
Good book.
All right. Well, Alex, I want to thank you again for
No,
for
thank you
being
for
on
having
the
me.
show.
Pleasure. Glad we were here.
We
Very good,
definitely
Alex.
need to do this again.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Bring you on again.
Yep. All right. All right. So, quick announcement. Last episode, when Kimberly Douglas was here, we had a commercial about Sisters of Vengeance, that there was going to be some filming of a rally and stuff for the 28th. Well, because of things happening with the city, it is now going to be February 11th. So if anybody is interested in taking part in this, it's all going to be filmed. Go to sistersofvengeance.com, and you can contact them there, or you can contact Florida Arts Network. All right. Anything you want to add before we go? Or?
No, got nothing. I've got a new book coming out. It's on Amazon, and I will be debuting the book as soon as I get my copies. It's called Samuel of Sarah, but it's coming out.
All right. All right. Well, guys, I guess it's time to wrap it up.
Time to wrap it up and say
yeah.
goodnight.
So good night. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Yep, take care.
Thank you for watching The Artist Loft. Make sure to tune in next time for another great show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by the Florida Arts Network with your hosts Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.